Memorial Day weekend is just days away, and for many Americans, it's the start of the summer vacation season. Who doesn't love a trip to the beach or taking the family to a theme park? But you know, times are tough, and for many families, vacations, well, they're a thing of the past. But don't put away your suitcase just yet. Joining me today to share all sorts of travel tips you and your family can really take advantage of is travel expert Claire Newell. Hi, Claire. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, Jackie. Thanks for having me.
I'm very excited about this. I want to start with the obvious, Claire. The economy has really put a damper on summer vacation plans. So what kind of decline are you expecting in summer vacations this year?
You know, Jackie, family vacations are one of those things that parents don't want to give up because they really want to enjoy these special memories over the summer with their kids. I mean, they grow up so fast. So people are getting a little bit creative on ways to save some money, but they're still taking those family vacations.
Now, for those who can't afford to take off with a family for a week, you suggest some alternatives. And I want to talk about staycations. This is all the rage now. And here you're suggesting pretty much bringing the vacation to you, right?
Right, doing it in your own backyard. And there are a couple of things that just come to mind. You can get a whole bunch of ideas online at family.com, but some of the things that I will do with my own kids are pitching a tent in our own backyard. I don't know a kid who doesn't love to stay in a tent overnight. The other thing is maybe throw out some lawn chairs and everyone get into their bathing suits on a nice hot day and put out a little paddle pool and just enjoy the day together. It's all about the memories, and your kids aren't going to remember whether they were at a fancy resort or whether they were in your own backyard.
It's so true. It's so true. It's less is more sometimes, right?
Absolutely. And you know, no matter where you're going, whether you're going across your own city or whether you're going across the country, there are deals to be had. You just need to look for them right now.
All right, there's also something called the daycation. What is a daycation?
Right. Well, the daycation is actually doing a trip on one tank of gas and enjoying your own backyard. There's a lot of us who don't even look to things that we have in our own cities or towns, and spending the day in a park, having a picnic, or driving maybe an hour and staying in just a local getaway. It's all about just getting away and enjoying that downtime as a family. We all live in these hustle and bustle lives with our kids. They're at school and then going to dance and soccer and piano lessons. And summer is a chance to just reconnect as a family. And no matter what your budget constraints are, it's important to put into the mix this summer.
Yes, great advice. I want to talk more about that website that you mentioned where you can get a lot more information. It's called family.com, which I should mention is operated by Disney, the parent company of ABC News. What are some of the big questions that a family needs to ask themselves when they start planning a vacation?
Well, when you're talking about traveling with kids, it's a whole lot different than it is when you're just going without them. It's a lot more planning that needs to go into it. And you really need to find things that are age appropriate. If you have little kids, you don't want to be going on long car rides for 6 or 7 hours, and certainly not long flights. But if you are traveling with kids, make sure you have lots of entertainment for them, and there's tons of advice on what to take for entertainment, how to pack, what to pack, and where to go online at family.com.
Now, once you've picked an actual spot, can you walk us through the best way to get there without breaking your budget?
Well, this is the thing, that once you pick a destination, there are some ways to now save some money. And it'll take a little bit of homework and research, but well worth doing. One of the things you can do is go online and do a Google search for the destination you've picked, and then put the word coupon behind it. You'd be surprised how many offers come up. Also, be a little bit flexible. Obviously, if you're going to be going over a long weekend or a holiday, they ramp up their prices, but if you can go a day or two before or after, you're going to save yourself some money. And don't be shy to ask for the deal. If you're calling a hotel or a car rental company, ask for a AAA rate, a weekend rate, a family rate. There are rates across the board for everything these days. And make sure you sign up for e-alerts. A lot of travel companies are using technology these days. It's cost effective, and it's a quick way to let people who sign up know about the deal first. So unless you're signed up, you're not going to know about those deals.
It's so true. And all right, now you've got the spot and you've got your way to get there. What are your suggestions for where you now stay?
Well, this is again dependent on your budget. There's great national parks that you can stay in if you're into camping, if you're into a resort. Just make sure that no matter where you're staying, that you ask if there is kid-friendly hospitality. So are there kids menus? Are there entertainment in the rooms or at the campground? Do they have a games room? Is there a lifeguard? on duty if they have a pool. Just make sure that you dot your I's and cross your T's for your kids, because that's what it's all about. Happy kids, happy parents.
Absolutely. Let's say that we're going to plan right now the perfect and cheap Memorial Day weekend getaway. What do you suggest right now?
Well, there are deals to be had, but they're fewer and far between because Memorial Day is such a popular time to get away. It really marks the summer getaway season. So if you're looking at low-cost places, also if you're going into a city that usually gets traffic during the business travelers week, staying on the weekends you might find some deals. But again, Memorial Day, it's never too late. You just have to be flexible on your dates of travel and your times.
Now, I know you touched on this a little bit for us, traveling with kids. We've talked about it, that it's not easy. What are your tips when it comes to traveling with your kids? I know if they're very young, you shouldn't travel far distances, especially in a car, for example.
Well, no matter how old your kids are, especially if they're young, you want to make sure that you have travel insurance and medical insurance. That's number one. But then you want to make sure you have everything that they're going to need. And if you're traveling by air or in a car, make sure that you have it really easily accessible. Snacks for them, drinks. Make sure you factor in the bathroom breaks and time for them to get out and stretch their legs. Don't just try and race all the way through, especially if you're doing a long haul drive. It's kids first, and don't pull out all of the entertainment for them all at once. I always pack an entertainment bag, and every half an hour I throw out something new. Another way to make it last a little longer is wrap it. You can't do that for air travel. You sure can for the car ride.
I like
that. It goes a long
one.
way.
Yeah, they're excited because they think they're getting a gift. It takes them a few seconds to open it.
And you know, the other fun thing for snacks is dry cereal. And my kids don't get sugary cereal, but bringing out the Fruit Loops or Corn Pops, it doesn't create a mess. It's light, easy to pack, and kids love it. It's like candy to them.
Yeah, it goes a long way, I will say.
It does.
Safety is always first, of course, and foremost when it comes to any vacation. So what are some tips that you have to help families be prepared for just about anything?
Well, I never travel without a travel emergency medical kit for my kids. You don't want to be having to run out in the night to look for Tylenol if the kids have a low-grade fever, or for bandages if they skin their knee. So you need to make sure if your kids take any sort of prescription that they're filled and that you have them on hand. Making sure that you have everything that you can think of. But again, when it comes to safety, travel insurance is one of those things you're going to need to make sure you have.
All right, and finally, how about getting advice from other traveling families? Is there a place on family.com where you can do this?
There is. That's one of the best things about family.com, is that it's got advice not only from experts but also from other people who've actually traveled. It's a great resource. So family.com. There's also a really great contest before I go. Lion King, you have the chance to win a trip for your family to New York or Las Vegas. And the contest ends on June the 18th. So I encourage anyone who wants to potentially win this to go online and sign up for it.
And that's family.com, right?
It is.
All right. Well, travel expert Claire Newell, thanks so much for your time today.
Thanks for having me.
Great information, and you can check out Claire's tips and a lot more travel tips and advice at the travel page of family.com. That's all the Money Matters we have for right now. Remember, for money-saving tips and all your business news, log on to abcnews.com. I'm Jackie Hyland in New York.